Act 33. Who will Baoyu end up marrying? Time. Winter of the 17th year of the Red Chamber. Location. Imperial Palace, Grandmother Jia's main room. Character. Jia Zheng, Zhang Guang, Jia Baoyu, Wang Mei, Grandmother Jia, Lady Wang, Lady Xing, Wang Shifeng, among others. Character profile card. Name: Mrs. Xing. Gender: female. Alias: Mrs. Big. Identity: Jia Shi's wife. Personality: timid and greedy. Mother-in-law: Grandma Jia. Husband: Jia Shi. Younger uncle: Jia Zheng. Stepson and daughter-in-law: Jia Lian, Wang Shifeng. Niece: Xing Xiyan. Baoyu and Dayu had just recovered from an illness when a few days later, news came from the palace that noble Lady Yuan Chun, the imperial concubine, was also sick. The emperor quickly issued an edict allowing the Jia family to visit the palace. Upon receiving the decree, Grandmother Jia, along with Lady Xing, Lady Wang, and Aunt Shui, went to the palace to visit noble Lady Yuan Chun. Seeing her family, Yuan Chun couldn't help but feel sad and said, "Nowadays, it's better to be in a small household where you can be close to your parents and siblings." Later, Yuan Chun asked about the family situation and Baoyu's condition. She was pleased to hear that Baoyu had finally started studying and writing under his father's discipline recently. After having their meal in the palace, Grandmother Jia and the others realized it was time for the scheduled visit, so they could only bid farewell to Yuan Chun reluctantly. Luckily, a few days later, they heard that concubine Yuan's condition had gradually improved, and everyone finally felt relieved. That day, Grandma Jia and Jia Zheng were sitting together and talking, and they happened to mention Baoyu. Grandma Jia said, "Baoyu is all grown up now, you all should pay more attention and help him find a suitable match. This is his lifelong big decision. Forget about distant relatives, poor or rich. What's important is that the girl has a good temperament and a proper appearance." Jia Zheng said, "It is what the old lady ordered. But there is one thing. He has to learn it well first, otherwise won't he be delaying the young lady." Upon hearing this, Grandmother Jia became unhappy and said, "Speaking of which, you two are the parents. Why do I need to worry about it? It's just that Baoyu has been with me since he was young, so I can't help but feel a little bit more distressed, which may delay his success. However, in my opinion, he is well-featured and sincere, not necessarily a useless person. Why would he go and ruin someone else's daughter? Whether this is favoritism or not, I think Baoyu is better than Huaner in every aspect." After a few words, Jia Zheng felt uneasy and quickly apologized with a smile. "What the old lady said is true. I was too impatient for my son to succeed, but it ended up being, one does not know his son's excellence." Grandmother Jia couldn't help but laugh at this. After Baoyu came back from school, he was called by Jia Zheng to the study to review his studies. Jia Zheng asked Baoyu some questions, and Baoyu answered them all correctly, which made Jia Zheng happy. At this time, two guests arrived, one named Wang Mei, whose style name was Diao, and the other named Zhang Guang. The two of them first praised Baoyu. Then Wang Diao said, "I have a presumptuous proposal that I would like to discuss with the elder. I know a friend who has practiced the Nanxiao Dao, known as First Master Zhang. In his family, there is a young lady who is beautiful in appearance, talented in virtue and learning, and has not yet been betrothed. His family is wealthy, and since he has no son, he wants to find a wealthy and outstanding husband for his daughter. I see that second Master Bao's character and education are excellent, and the elder also has such a prestigious family background. If I act as a matchmaker, I am sure that a marriage can be arranged." Jia Zheng said, "In terms of age, it is indeed time for Baoyu to get married, and the old lady often mentions it. However, This Zhang's family is not very familiar to us." Zhang Guang said, "Lao Shirwing didn't know that this Zhang family was originally related to Lady Xing's family." Jia Zheng finally realized that the Zhang family was actually related to Lady Xing's family. The next day, Mrs. Xing came to visit Lady Jia to pay her respects. Lady Wang was also present, and Mrs. Xing immediately brought up the matter of the old master of the Zhang family. Mrs. Xing said, "Although the Zhang family is related to us, we haven't had much contact in recent years. However, I've heard from others that they do have a very beautiful daughter. Because they are reluctant to see her marry and be mistreated by her in-laws, they're planning to have the son-in-law come live with them and take care of the household chores." Grandmother Jia heard this and immediately waved her hands. "This cannot be allowed. Baoyu is not even satisfied with how others serve him. How could he go and serve someone else's family?" She then turned to Lady Wang and said, "You go back and tell your husband. Say it was me who said it. This marriage in this household cannot happen." Lady Wang nodded in agreement. Just as she was speaking, grandmother suddenly remembered Wang Shifeng's daughter Qiao, so she asked, "How is Qiao doing?" Pinger said she's seriously ill. I should go and see her too. Mrs. Xing and Mrs. Wang are busy persuading. The old lady cares for her, but can she bear to have you go there in person? Grandmother Jia waved her hand and said, "It's not just to see her. I also need to move around and flex my muscles. You all go back and have your meal first, then come back to accompany me." After speaking, Lady Xing and Lady Wang each went back to have their meal. Afterwards, they came back to Grandmother Jia's place and went to see Qiao together. Grandmother Jia and her entourage had just arrived at the Phoenix house when a servant came and said, "The master wants to know how Miss Xiao Ge is feeling now." Wang Shifeng said, "Tell Lord that the doctor has already gone to see him for me." Grandmother Jia thought of the Zhang family again and quickly said to Madame Wang, "You go and tell your master about the Zhang family's matter so that others won't talk about it and we won't have to refute it later." Then she asked Mrs. Xing, "Why did you stop having contact with the Zhang family later on?" Mrs. Xing said, "The Zhang family's way of doing things is really mean and petty. It is really not suitable for marriage. It humiliates our Baoyu." Wang Shifeng was listening on the side and already understood 8 or 9 points, so she asked, "Madam, are you talking about Baoyu's marriage?" Mrs. Xing agreed, and then Granny Jia told Sister Feng about what had just happened. Sister Feng smiled and said, "I dare not speak boldly in front of the ancestors and the ladies. If fate has already brought the marriage here, why bother searching everywhere else?" Grandmother Jia asked with a smile, "What kind of marriage is heaven's arrangement? Where is it?" Wang Shifeng smiled and said, "With this Baoyu and Jin Soa, how can it not be a destined good match?" Everyone laughed, and each had their own thoughts in their hearts. After a while, the doctor, who came to see Qiao, arrived. After diagnosing her, he prescribed medication. Only then did Grandmother Jia feel relieved, and everyone sat for a while before leaving. A few days later, Grandmother Jia, Madame Wang, and Lady Xing were together again, talking about Baoyu's marriage. Grandmother Jia said, "Baoyu and Lin are childhood friends. At first, I thought they were just children playing together. But then, Lin would be sick one moment and fine the next, which made me suspicious. If they always stay together, it wouldn't be proper. What do you think we should do about this?" Lady Wang was taken aback for a moment, then said, "Miss Lin is a thoughtful person. But Baoyu is naive and clueless. He doesn't understand how to avoid suspicion. They still look like children right now, so if we suddenly move one out of the Grandview garden, it will reveal something. As the saying goes, boys should marry when they reach adulthood, and girls should marry when they come of age. So it's better to quickly take care of their affairs." Grandmother Jia frowned and said, "Lin is a strange and unsociable girl. Although there is nothing wrong with that, it is because of this that I do not want to betroth her to Baoyu. Furthermore, Lin is frail and may not live long. Only Baochai and Baoyu are truly compatible." Madame Wang nodded. "Not only does the old lady think so, we also think so." But we also have to worry about Miss Lin's matters. As a grown-up girl, she always has her own concerns. Moreover, if she has some private thoughts with Baoyu and knows that Baoyu is going to be engaged to Baochai, then Grandmother Jia said, naturally, we should first find a wife for Baoyu, then we can talk about Lin's situation. We shouldn't prioritize others before ourselves. Besides, Lin is younger than Baoyu. Let's keep the matter between Baoyu and Baochai a secret for now. After hearing this, Sister Foam quickly instructed the maids present not to spread the news. After all the important matters had been agreed upon, the crowd chatted for a while before dispersing.